Hello Leo, my sweet pussycats. I hope you're having a good week. Welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, maybe Venus, depending on where this goes. There is an extended at the end of this. I'm going to look into the blind spot of the reading. If you're drawn to that, you can find the link at the top of the description. This week, we're starting with, I've never done this before. I was inspired, as I often am, because I start with Aquarius, and a song popped into my head just for them and their reading. And I thought, well, everyone should get a song, right? So I'm doing the shuffle, and I have quite an unusual eclectic mix of music in my phone. So I do a little shuffle to see what you get. So we go into the songs and then we shuffle. Oh, you got to Be There, Michael Jackson. Oh, I think this is an old one. Is that? Yeah, well, would be. I was gonna say, yeah, like I think this is a Jackson 5 one. Got to Be There. So if you're interested in what those lyrics are, I'm gonna let you look that up. That's Got to Be There. You guys got to Be There with Michael Jackson, but I think that could be a Jackson 5. It's just coming up on a Michael Jackson album, but I think it's like, because it sounded like Little Boy Michael Jackson. Okay, Leo, let's get some cards. Let's get the story. Let's spill the tea. Let's drink the tea. I don't want to waste the tea. Oh, okay. You're just spilling cards. Ooh, the Ace of Earth. It's like your, what do you got here? The Page of Fire. I like that. I like this Page of Fire. It reminds me a little bit of, and it's kind of the wrong order you would think, but I feel this, well maybe not, no. I kind of feel like in this deck there's a little girl, she's holding like a fan, like this girl is. I think she is. Anyway, she's on a panda and she's in the woods with all these Chinese lanterns. It's really beautiful. And I feel like she's found her way out of the woods and she's now moving towards her dreams. You know, like she had all these ideas in the woods, all these things around her that were inspiring her, and now she's kind of picked one and she's gone out to find her dreams. I like that. I like that page. So what you have the Hanged Man and the Six of Fire. And then you have the Two of Earth and the Ace of Earth. Right away, it looks like you are trying to assess something from many different angles here. Trying to figure out how to get success. How to float off into victory. Really what you want to do. But you're thinking about it. We're going to pull out more cards to find out why this is taking you time to think about it, because there's also, like, and then obviously whatever this success is, it's some sort of a new start in something. Like it could be a new job, it could be going back to work, it could be a new home with this Ace of Earth. But see, this is where the toss-up is, because the Two of Earth is trying to figure out how to manage two sides of a coin, two different things here in your life. Maybe you want to do both. Maybe you're thinking, you know what, I don't want to live in this stinky little town anymore. Whatever. I don't want to live in this stinky little house or apartment anymore. I want a new job. But you're kind of thinking, well, I don't know if I should really change both at the same time here. I feel like you want some kind of a change. You want some new beginning. Because, right, you've got the Page of Fire here. It's kind of come out of the woods. See how you were in the woods, you were in the Hanged Man, almost like, you know, looking at all the possibilities, looking at all the inspiration, because I want to find victory. So I'm looking at all the inspiration, I want to find victory. I want victory in my life. I want to feel victorious. I want to feel like I'm doing what I'm really meant to be doing, what I'm really happy doing here, what really feeds my fire. But which one should I do first? Like the Ace of Earth is here. There is a new beginning sitting here for you, but which one will you take first? So let's see. Let's pull out more cards. I've already shuffled these really well. Wow. Kind of like you've determined that you need a tower moment. Oh, good for you. Tower moments are great. They shake everything up. Tower moment followed by temperance. Just take it slow. Oh, look at you. Oh, wow. So fascinating, the cards that came out here. Now the Knight of Wands is at the bottom. It's like going from the Page of Wands to the Knight of Wands. Really getting ready to take some action on what it is that you want. You've been inspired. You're ready to do it. You've made your pick, your choice, sort of. I feel sort of. And it's ready to go now. So I feel like you have been assessing and wondering and thinking, you know what, I need a tower moment. I need to shake it up. I need to do something that's different. Something unexpected, but it feels so right to me. Something unexpected, but it feels so right to me is kind of what I'm getting for you. This is what you want to do here. You want a tower moment. It's like you want a tower moment that initiates some sort of a change towards finding victory in a very important element in your life for you. But then once you sort of, once you get the victory, this is when you get temperance. So it's a little bit like you're shaking things up to make a change, but once you get the change, then taking it nice and slow in that. So that, you know, it doesn't keep, obviously, right, it doesn't keep the momentum of a tower moment, which is good. Because the momentum of a tower moment, it should just be there in what its instance is and the energy shift that it creates. And then we're getting used to that energy shift. Even if it's a good or bad, but this looks like a really good energy shift with the Six of Fire and Temperance. So you are going to shift the energy. You want to. You've determined that you need to shift the energy here to establish a course for you that's going to get you what you see as victory for yourself. And then once you've created that shift in energy, spending the time to get used to that energy shift. Spending the time to get familiar with it and to get familiar with how you feel and how you're balancing out in it. Because you know that it's going to create an uncomfortable feeling. I mean, a tower moment will, whether it's good or bad, because it's a big shift in something. It's a big shift in how we understand something and how we might see ourselves, how we might see others, how we live our life. Like there's something big is changing. And yeah, here we go. Now there's your Two of Earth and the Judgment. And I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you them together. And then the Ace of Earth with the Star. Do you see how cool that is? Look at how she's like allowing her spirit to rise up and soar. And then in some ways it sort of feels like catching that on a string. Like allowing it to go, but not so far that it's out of your reach. Not so far that it's something that you can't comprehend anymore. Keeping a little string on it up into the atmosphere, like up into the cosmos. Allowing, it's almost like astral projecting yourself into the cosmos and keeping this string attached to your body to stay grounded so that you don't keep going. You still come back. Kind of like rising up, seeing things from such a great perspective, such an enormous perspective, and allowing yourself to understand it like in a human concept, applying that to your three-dimensional existence here. Oh, I see what it is. So the Two of Earth is feeling like, you know, the heaviness, the balancing act of all the things in life that we look after, that we keep our lives going in. And you're somehow free. You want to make a choice here. I really get that. You want to make a choice here that frees yourself, frees your spirit from this heaviness of trying to make choices, trying to balance the different things going on in your life, the different relationships and dynamics that are playing out. Trying to free your soul from this. And, you know, when I look at that, look at how the Temperance has this kind of silhouette of wings sprouting behind. That is the idea, right? Get this change, create this change so that you can fly, so that you can feel like you're flying again. Even if you are grounded, like you at least feel like you're flying again, like you're soaring. Your spirit is connecting with its own higher good and doing the things that, you know, you truly want to do. Because both of these cards are very grounded, very earthy, the Two of Earth and the Ace of Earth. But they both, the cards that have come out beside them, they both represent freeing oneself, freeing the deeper self. Oh, I'm gonna, yeah, that's freeing your deeper self here. There's butterflies. Oh yeah. See, there's butterflies on the antlers of this elk, and then there's butterflies in this tower moment. It's the red squirrel with the acorns. See, that red squirrel is really, that red squirrel appears in a lot of different decks. It's like my little buddy. He's a little bit of a combination of a little nemesis and a little buddy, as a red squirrel will be. Mostly nemesis. Yeah, they can be a little tenacious little buggers, those little red squirrels. But they are also survivors. For someone who's so much smaller than the little gray and black squirrels, they really own the place. Now, this little red squirrel has popped in with so many different messages, and a lot of times he's holding on to an Ace of Pentacles in one of the other decks I do, and he's holding on to it in the forest, and there's all these vines that have started to grow onto this Ace of Pentacles. He's the only one around. And in the deck, it's my SpellCaster's Tarot. He is the only one there, and it's as if, see, this is where he plays for you as a friend, as a colleague, as he's working with you. He's been protecting that new beginning for you when everyone else has left. And it's been sitting there for a while because there's vines growing on it. And it's all coming to me with your little red squirrel here at the bottom of this, you know, I guess projection of earth that's sticking out, and then it's getting hit by lightning. But, you know, when I think about lightning, lightning is the last step in a process that the earth engages in to basically change what would be harmful enough to destroy it into something that nurtures it. So it's actually the earth, and I believe the first step in that process is the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, where it's the radiation that hits the earth from the cosmos, from the sun, the radiation that hits the earth, and the earth spreads it over whatever layer that is. I don't know if it's a particular outer layer, and it sort of spreads it out, and it does all sorts of things. There's a whole process that earth goes through with radiation to protect it. So it takes something that is powerful enough to destroy it, to scorch the earth. And then when it's finally done in the process, the last step, I believe, if I'm remembering this right, is lightning. And lightning puts nitrogen into the earth. So isn't that fascinating how that works? So, and I'm coming up with this because I'm getting this lightning. It is hitting the earth. It's hitting the earth, but all these beautiful little gold, magical, sparkly things are occurring from that lightning strike because it's nurturing. So this tower moment, as I said, is a good moment. It's a good tower moment because it's about to nurture the foundation of the growth that you want. And the red squirrel is there telling me that this is something that you've been waiting for. And probably too, because there's Temperance sitting here. And taking in this waiting, well, the Hanged Man, yeah, you have been waiting for this. Taking this energy that perhaps felt like it was sucking your soul dry a bit, or it was depleting you. It could. It's energy that could scorch your soul even. But transmuting it and turning it into the fertilizer that gives you growth, that makes you strong again. This is a whole process of the Strength card, Leo, your card, really. Because what pulls us down, What could kill us is what makes us stronger, and Earth does that with radiation. Fascinating, isn't it? And then there's some understanding here, because in the Temperance card, he's holding the sun, and then he's got the moon whipping through. You're controlling the sun energy, and that would seem natural to you, Leo. Control, see, he's cupping the sun, sort of controlling the movement of the sun, kind of controlling a little, like steadying and directing where this, you know, wish fulfillment wants to go for you. And with the moon is moving a little more on its own. So the moon to me is the very unknowns, right? But the moon has control over it's a very symbiotic relation. I don't know if it's symbiotic for the moon. I wonder what Earth does. Earth must do so. We haven't learned enough. We haven't learned enough. Maybe I haven't. Maybe, is there something that the Earth does for the moon? Well, I guess it keeps it from flying out into space or hitting another planet. It keeps it sort of grounded in the gravitational forces of Earth. So it's there. And yeah, right? Like it's a give and a take. And you're learning that with the unknown. Because you seem to be able to handle the sun's energy through a tower moment, but the unknown here is still floating through kind of a little more freely. You can see the trail, the purpley trail, floating through a little more freely through your legs, but that's part of what the unknown is. So I do want to say that it seems like you are getting a better grasp of that yes, you can hang on to your wish fulfillment, particularly Leo, being such a leader in yourself and those around you, like leading what it is that you want, leading yourself towards what it is that you want, but being aware of the symbiotic relationship between the sun and the moon and Earth. And you are representing Earth because the lightning is hitting it's hitting you. I want to say that, like the tower moment hits you. And think about the things that the moon controls. The moon controls a lot of things on Earth. Obviously not just the tides, but cycles, the reproductive cycles of humanity as well. The werewolves. Werewolves come out. Let's see. Oh, and look it. There's the trail. Oh, here. That's it. Okay. Okay, the trail. The little... Now I'm going to hold them all up. They're all in these cards. Okay. No, wait. Let me get them in the right order. Okay. See, the little gold sparkles to me, that is like the nitrogen going into the earth and feeding the dream here. Feeding the something that you want, okay? Yeah. Oh, no, wrong way. Sorry, I'm doing this like a mirror vision. And then here, look at, see the sparkles that the moon is creating. The same sort of dots that the moon has got going on here. The sun has that too. But I'm really feeling there's something about the unknown here that's the important factor for you. And then that. And then look at the trail of dots. Where is it? Oh yeah, here. This trail of dots. It's feeding the uplifting part. It's lifting your soul up. And then it scatters out into the universe. And that's why you have this little string here holding on to it. It scatters out into the universe. So, is that making sense? Is that making sense? Right? Is that making sense? Like you're taking something, you've taken the energy of something that almost could be harmful to you, and maybe did feel harmful at one point, but you're alchemizing it into something that's going to nurture you, that's going to provide nutrients for growth. And then in doing that, it's also providing almost like the energy, the momentum of freeing your soul here, freeing your spirit into greater possibilities, like possibilities that are far beyond what most would even dream of with the star. But you're still keeping it grounded because you still got the little string on it, right? You're not letting it go away. You're not letting it go like out of your reach. You're keeping it real. You're keeping it real. Okay, so keeping it real, this deck is going to keep it real. Wow, the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. You want it all, baby. wants it all. The Emperor and Eight of Wands. See, movement. Movement towards wanting it all. The Tower. What is this Tower? You know, because it won't hopefully be actual lightning hitting you. I don't know how well that would, you know, that might scorch you. The Tower is the Hierophant. It's almost like being struck by the heavens. Being struck by the heavens. Wow. It's an epiphany. You may have already experienced the Tower moment. It's like an internal, it's an internal tower. Wow. So you are your own universe. You are your own universe, and within that universe, there was a lightning strike, an internal change. Something bad happened, and you created something good. I'm going to show you. Yeah. Look at the Hierophant to the Five of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups. That's a huge epiphany. But you experienced this, so you went through something that took almost everything away from you. Everything that you recognized, everything that you found comfort in, or at least did at some point, and it got to a stage where there was no more comfort in it. It was a struggle. It was feeling like an outcast. It was feeling like you weren't part of it anymore. And just go boom into, you know what? I didn't even need that, because I am my own galaxy. I am my happiness. I can turn the radiation into Aurora Borealis and finalize it into my epiphany moment, my eureka of where my happiness comes from. Who feeds me but me, right? You are your own system. Energetically, spiritually, emotionally, particularly emotionally with the Nine of Cups. This is really profound, guys. This is amazing. Okay, the Temperance. Look at that. See? You're exercising the unknown into wish fulfillment. The Seven of Cups into the Ten of Cups. And by exercising the unknown, you're allowing all sorts of possibilities to play out in your mind. You're not really holding on to anyone in particular. You're just allowing them to flow. You're allowing yourself to flow naturally in your day-to-day to kind of allow that to guide you to your wish fulfillment. And hey, look at that. You turn your Nine of Cups into your Ten of Cups. And there's the Temperance of it too. Waiting for the right connection as well. Waiting for the right people or person to connect with, to join your Nine of Cups with. Look at the Judgment. That is such a beautiful Judgment. The Judgment card. It is. It's the Star again. It's uplifting your soul. The Star and the King of Cups. It's uplifting. It's feeling alive again. That's what it is. It's literally feeling alive again by almost having to astral project your spirit out of your body. Which is, you know, you would say, well, then you're not really alive. I mean, when your soul leaves your body, not thinking of it in an astral projection way, right? Like if it's a death and the soul leaves the body, you would say, oh, well, you're not alive. No, this is feeling alive, like not feeling trapped anymore in the things that used to make you feel trapped. Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of feelings and emotions here. It's finding those again. And with the Star, making your dreams come true. And you really are alchemizing energy. With Temperance and the Star, they're both doing that. They're both finding balance in the energies around them. So now you have the Star twice. You're literally producing an energy to create, to allow your manifestations to fully manifest into the three-dimensional, like for you to direct yourself towards them, for you to put your, I think they all exist. I think almost well, not almost all possibilities, all realities exist. I really believe in that theory. And there's strings, so many strings of reality, and how you consciously move your mind, you can shift. Do you ever like try to understand something or try to believe that something can happen, and for the longest time you just can't? You want to, but you just can't take yourself there. And I don't even know, I mean, there's probably some part of the process here that I've described that would be shifting your mind, but then just kind of waking up one morning and you're like, no, that's gonna happen. And it's not just telling yourself that, is you actually believe it internally, you know, and that's manifestation. It's literally because you've now somehow consciously, you've moved your mind to, subconsciously, you've moved your consciousness into a reality where that will happen, well, that will exist, where it does exist, and you feel it. You feel that shift because you wake up and you say, no, this is going to happen. Holy shit, that will happen. Like, you just believe it. It's just, you know. No matter how, even the night before, it might have been, because you would have been thinking about it, and like, no, I don't see how that would work. I don't think that would happen. Oh, that's impossible. Those things, it's almost like they don't even matter anymore. It's almost like they're not even part of the equation, because you've shifted. You've subconsciously shifted your consciousness. I kind of believe that we like, the conscious mind is a far, it's more vast than we could describe or declare in any sort of mathematical equation. And it can divide up almost into infinity. You know, if you meet people and you don't seem to have a real strong connection, or you're like, that person doesn't seem really aware. I think that there's only a small part of their consciousness that is existing in the place and time that you are, where you are actually being more consciously aware. You have given more of your conscious awareness into a timeline where some people don't have very much. But having said that, you are also existing in other timelines with very little conscious awareness, because not much of your consciousness is sitting in there. And I think sometimes through dream state, we go in and out of some of those areas. And you know, it can be really weird. Like, sometimes you can have some weird dreams and like, like, what is going on there? But I think we can also project ourselves into future timelines through dreams. And we can even mix up timelines in dreams, because the mental mind tries to come to grips with all the possible. I'm really blowing my mind out right now. It's just like so expansive, this thought, and I probably lost some people on the way here. I'm sorry, but what I'm trying to say is, you are putting yourself into a timeline to create really good abundance for yourself, and you've moved your mind consciously to another thread of reality. And in doing that, you know, that's where they talk about the process, like, some things will need to get left behind. Friendships, partnerships, many different things, when you do that, do get left behind, because you've moved your consciousness to a different line where those people are not at the same level of consciousness. And so we can't actually say, well, I'm further ahead than that person spiritually. No, they could be even more consciously aware in another timeline beyond yours. Okay, let me start. I used to do some readings just on, like, reality in the conscious mind. I used to always come up with stuff at the dinner table as a kid, and my mom would be like, you can't. You're like, I can't. I think I would put it into her head, and sometimes you can't wrap your brain around it. You just have to let something else flow. So the star, you're waiting on it. There is some sort of rest period with the star. Yeah, you might even need to heal. You might feel tired at some point as you get. Because, yeah, you're almost releasing your soul into the cosmos to understand the possibilities of your own existence and trying to keep that grounded. So this is almost like telling us, keep it grounded. Get your sleep. Get adequate sleep. Because that's probably also a way for the mind to start adding, like, understanding all the threads that it has experienced, that you've experienced. Four of Swords, the Star. Yeah, see, you're getting ready to make movement. That makes a lot of sense. And you've been doing that. You've been exercising that really well here. That's kind of a theme through this whole reading, right? From rest to strong action here. From rest to strong fiery action. From almost allowing confusion to exist to create wish fulfillment. Having everything taken away to find that everything you need is actually within. It's like, yeah, wow, this is pretty cool. What's at the bottom? The Queen of Swords. Oh, well, yeah. You got it. There's always a process of cutting things out. Ooh, whoa. I just had a little, like a vision of her with the sword. And it is cutting things out, but it is also pulling. Using the sword to pull the strings of reality closer together to make it more tangible, more reachable. Wow, that's freaky weird. This was an interesting reading. Wow, the King of Wands is behind that. And then the Strength card. That's what you're doing. You're finding your inner strength. You're finding your course in life. And you're claiming it, but you're really manipulating energy within you and around you. Maybe manipulating is not the right word, but you are. Because you're adjusting it and changing it to your advantage. And I would say that's kind of manipulating. But energy is there for you to do that. People aren't. You shouldn't do that with people, right? But energy definitely is. See, we have to recognize that there are certain things that we should manipulate. And then there are other things that we shouldn't manipulate. And there, yeah, there you go. Wow, there you go, Taurus. Or Taurus. That was weird. Whoever needed to hear that. There you go. Leo, thank you guys. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.